Wellness begins where play, pleasure, and the parasympathetic meet. You were born to be you, and you were born to be well. Your body is always trying to find its way back to health. Now, here is the host of Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Today is Monday, September 8th for me recording it. It might be a different day for you listening. And I'm just going to put it out there. You're listening to Your Healing Playground. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. And today is my birthday. Yes, I've been on this planet a lot of years. And today, without even realizing this was the day, I am talking about juggling, my inner critic and my inner best friend. Those two voices in my head. Now, everyone has voices in my head. Voices, not in my head, but in their head. Although my son says, it's not everybody, Mom. There are experts who say it's just in a few people. Well, most people I know tell me they have voices in their head. And the only difference between quote unquote sane people and insane people with multiple personalities is we recognize these voices are voices. They're all us. They have different personalities, if you will. And they talk slightly differently to us. And we have, in general, one voice that's a little more critical and one voice that's a little more supportive. Now, maybe you don't have them, and maybe all you have is the support staff with you, and that's amazing. And I hope that's the case. But for me, in some way, I thought that was what I had. I recently did a coaching program. It's called Positive Intelligence, and it's Stanford's science out of Stanford University on mental health, mental fitness, going to the gym to change our mental toughness and our mental wellness. And we all know, if you read the news, that levels of anxiety, levels of depression, other problems related to how we're doing life in America, there are issues. We are struggling. And we're not struggling because life is harder than it's been for other folks. If you were born in 1900 like my grandmother, you had a depression, you had World War I, you had World War II. People, an entire decade of depression and lacking money, prohibition. They didn't even have distraction with, there wasn't a lot of alcohol around for a lot of those years, right? For distraction purposes. We do not have it necessarily a lot harder than our parents and our grandparents and the generations before us, but we are struggling and we need help in that mental fitness area. Now, so when I did this positive intelligence coaching program, what I learned, which was it's based on operating systems and how our brains operate. And most of us do not get out of childhood, if not all of us do not get out of childhood without these voices in our head. And frequently there is this inner judge. And what happens is this inner judge shows up as a survival mechanism. And the way I like to think about it, this happened to me in a meditation the other day. When we are in utero, we are, first of all, bathed in a water environment. We are floating in amniotic fluid. We are in water, and life is grand, right? Our conscious brain, as far as we know, is not working. The universe as we know it, we are a seed germinating in mom. We are one with the universe. We are one with mom. We don't have to struggle to get food. It comes right in through that umbilical cord. We don't have to struggle to breathe in and out. The oxygen and carbon dioxide, the exchange of gases just happens. We are free floating in literally an idyllic universe. And we grow because we grow. The universe seems to take care of all our needs. We can trust that the universe and the brilliance of our creation knows how to make us. We go from one cell on that first day when a sperm and an egg meet and there is a big bang, and lo and behold, an embryo shows up. And we multiply and we divide 1 cell, 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cells. And as we are doing this, we are an embryo, we are a snowball, we are rolling down, and I feel like we're rolling downhill with ease in the fallopian tube of our mom. 5 to 6 days later, we get to the uterus, we send out feelers, and we decide the environment is safe to implant, to invade, and we start to grow roots into this uterus. That becomes our placenta. And as the placenta is growing, we, as the inner cell mass, starts to take form and we become a human being. Growing, growing, growing. The first thing we see a week later is the beating of the blood vessel, the circulatory system. We literally start out as pulsations of energy, ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bum. That is the first thing as an OB, as a fertility physician, that I see to confirm viability of this embryo in this uterus. We are one with mom, we are one with the universe, and we are growing. Now, let me just give you some facts. 85% of conceptions supposedly don't make it. So the fact that you and I are here listening to this podcast, we are the survivors. We are the thrivers. We are the ones who put down good roots. We are the ones who knew that, yes, it is okay, it is safe to grow into a human being. We literally became human. And not only that, we found a way to knock on the door and get ourselves delivered. Now, some of us do it vaginally and some of us do it by C-section, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, our deep instinctual nervous system, circulatory system, whatever it is, knew how to communicate. We somehow found a way to start labor or break the bag of waters or alert mom that it was time to get out and come into this universe. And all of this 9 months, or maybe you were premature and you came out at 5, 6, 7, 8 months, all of this was done by the body, not your conscious brain, but your body, this divine universe of cells communicating with each other, forming hearts and livers and organs and brains and guts and intestines and sexual organs and all of that stuff. One cell became a bunch of cells, became organs, became organ systems, became this entire universe of you in a body without you directing traffic. And you are one with the universe, and you are literally just magnificent. And in that instant, when you are born and the cord is cut, you have left 100% trust to the universe, to your body, to this deeper knowing And all of a sudden, you are a helpless infant, no longer in water. You are a fish out of water. You are living in air. You are like, oh my God, I am alone. I am terrified. I am cold. And I am going to scream at the top of my lungs because I am so scared that I am alone and I will die. And all of a sudden, in that moment, in that instant, in that cutting of the cord, you no longer trust the universe. You no longer believe you are one with everybody else. You no longer have 100% faith that that mom is going to remember you and take care of you. And you scream. And that is your first emotion, energy in motion, crying for help. Do not leave me. Do not desert me. I am here. I am small. I am helpless. I am tiny. So before that cord was cut, you are one with everything. You are expansive. You are the entire universe, a big bang of the universe created. You are the universe in human form, air, earth, fire, and water, and you know that you are and have the capability of reproducing the entire human race in your DNA. And in the cord cutting, you become a tiny little ant, terrified of your survival. And the only way to get people's attention is by emoting, by moving energy. Because let me tell you, folks, we see ourselves as matter, as particles, as bodies. But intrinsically, before there was a body, there were molecules dancing in space. There was energy moving, dancing, electrons communicating, cell to cell, organ to organ system, molecule to molecule, the aliveness that is in your body. All it is energy moving. Energy. Just take that in, feel, if you can, for this one instance, feel your heartbeat. Feel the warmth in your fingertips. Feel the aliveness of your nervous system. Feel the sensation in your body. The proof that you are alive on this planet, in this universe that is airborne, no longer waterborne. You jumped out of water, into earth, into air. And what makes you alive is the fire, the energy, which is the electrons dancing from cell to cell. The electricity in your body is your aliveness. And that aliveness, my friends, connects you and all your cells to each other, but also to other humans, to other animals, to earth, to air, to water. This fire, this energy, this aliveness is just reactive oxygen species. And we're going to talk about how that turns into your inner judge and your inner best friend when we come back from break. Because, my friends, you are alive to celebrate your aliveness. And you are listening to Your Healing Playground. We are on the Inspired Choices Network, and I am Dr. Tina Coopersmith, your witchy doctor, your change advocate, changing, I hope, one molecule at a time, one fire at a time, so that we all live and celebrate our aliveness and our wellness. And let us go to break.
Your Healing Playground is the space where science, spirit, and sensation dance together. Your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, physician, coach, healer, and play advocate, returns weekly to remind you that healing isn't just about pills and protocols. Western medicine is just one of many healing modalities. True wellness is about energy, emotion, pleasure, and play. On this show, Dr. Tina explores the playground of your body, mind, heart, and soul. From neuroscience to sensuality, from root chakra to real talk. She'll share tools, stories, and soulful strategies to shift you out of fear and back into joy. Because if you're alive and breathing, your story is still unwritten, and you deserve to write it with love. Together, you'll learn to breathe, feel, and play your way back to wellness, because you are your best healer.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to info@womensreproduction.com. Now, back to our program.
Welcome back, my friends. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. I am Dr. Tina Coopersmith, your host, your witchy doctor, your change advocate. I am a speaker. I am a coach. I am a physician. I am a healer. What I really am is a nonconformist. I am a bundle of energy packed in my body. Today is my birthday. If you'd like to join me after this show, I have an open Zoom room. We're making waves to play. We are envisioning a new world where pleasure dominates and work is done as play. Work gives us purpose and meaning in life, but it's really, we are here on this planet to play, to celebrate, to be grateful for being alive. And so if you'd like to join the Zoom room after this program from 9:30 to 12:30, 2 to 5, 6 to 9 Pacific time, the Zoom room ID is 516-374-7669. Password is play, capital P-L-A-Y. That is only today, September 8th. And after that, you can find me on your Healing Playground on the Inspired Choices Network weekly for this podcast. You can hire me as a motivational speaker. You can find me as a personal coach. And if you live in LA, maybe you'd like some healing. I'm a fertility specialist, a gynecologist, intimate with the ability of creation, because I spend a lot of my science world and a lot of my healing world helping people create babies. And today we're talking about the inner judge and the inner, which is your inner critic and your inner best friend, and dancing the surfboard between the two. So I started to explain these voices in our heads. And again, we don't get out of childhood without these voices. So what happens? We think we're a blank slate at birth. We're learning actually we're not, because we have our DNA, and our DNA has been imprinted. We have thousands of years, millions of years of human evolution encoded in our DNA. And then we have our personal family evolution encoded in what we call the epigenetics, the proteins that bind to the DNA, that tell the DNA to open or close. to make our DNA unique and our personal fingerprints, if you will. And then we have our own personal experiences as children. And as children, we are trying to navigate a world we do not understand. We are trying desperately to survive. As I told you, in utero, we are 100% trusting, and we allow our body to do what our body does, which is grow us, heal us, take care of us, because we are indeed one with all of creation. And simultaneously, once we're born, we are a fish out of water. We go from water to air, and we are alone, or so we have this illusion of aloneness. We're really just molecules dancing in space, but we see ourselves and we are embodied in a separate body that is presently disconnected from all the other bodies. There is a larger space between us and mom than there was when we were a fetus, and a larger space between our siblings and our parents. And so we start trying to understand the world using our brain, using our am I safe brain. We are constantly, like every situation, our neural networks are constantly on guard, protecting ourselves. Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? And that survival mechanism, that army of safety, is constantly judging ourselves, judging the people around us, or judging life. Hence the word inner judge. Now, this inner judge is trying desperately to keep you safe, to make sure you stay alive. Can we celebrate that our brain is so brilliant that it is constantly on guard and protecting ourselves so that we stay safe? That's brilliant. What a brilliance of Mother Nature to have a brain that is constantly a army keeping us safe. Am I safe? Am I alive? Now, if I'm breathing, I'm alive and I'm okay, right? That is truth. Then why am I judging myself, judging others, or judging circumstance? Oh, because I'm always on guard and not really sure that I'm safe. They're doing life different than me. I'm going to judge myself as less than or judge them as less than, right? So I'm either going to judge myself or I'm going to judge the other human, or I'm going to judge life itself. Life is doing this to me. And so we develop this inner judge for our own safety, because number one, if we don't like how our parents are telling us how to act, but they're in charge of food, water, and shelter, well, I better suck up to them and make sure that they give me food, water, and shelter. So I'm not going to tell myself that they're bad. I'm going to tell myself somehow that I'm bad and I deserved that spanking or that critical eye or that negative reaction. Same thing happens when we go to school and the teacher yells at us. Same thing happens when the children make fun of us in school. So we are constantly on guard, trying to decide if we're safe. We judge ourselves, we judge others, or we judge life itself. Now, if we know or feel, let's actually go to the feel. If we feel in our bodies a contraction, a constriction, a tightness, I don't feel safe right now, we are not flowing with the universe. We are in survival mode. So we know once we start understanding our operating system, if we are living in a constricted, contracted state, a negative emotion, a judgy emotion, where we are judging ourselves, judging others, or judging life being against us, our inner judge is driving. We are in survival mode. We are probably in our logic brain, and we are telling ourselves that life is not safe. We are in fight, flight, freeze, or please. Now, that's really smart if we are truly in a life or death situation. So it is brilliant that we have this survival mechanism, this inner judge. It is there to keep us safe. If I am a 3-year-old and I am stepping into the middle of the street and I need to realize cars are coming, run away, that survival judge is our best friend at that moment. But, and this is a big but, most of us are not truly in a life or death situation 24/7. And yet, modern society has kept us, without even knowing we have an inner judge directing traffic. This inner judge that developed its incredible strength before the age of 7 is frequently directing our lives. We are unconsciously unconscious, going through life, having a child living in survival mode, directing traffic, driving the car without a driver's license, I like to say. If you're anything like me, I was a head on a stick. I wasn't really feeling my body, and I had some I had a judgy, critical dad. And I had some experiences when I was young where I was told I was wrong, that I was doing wrong things to my body. I was sent in the corner in first grade and made to stand facing the corner. I was, outed, for making a ruckus during circle time, and I had to go stand in the corner because I was bad, because I wanted to play with the boys. The boy didn't get in trouble, but I did. I was bad. At home, I put mustard. No, I didn't put mustard on a hot dog. I put ketchup on a hot dog and got yelled at for not knowing how to eat. So little things instructed my little brain to be on guard all the time. And as one of my therapists said to me recently, because I felt, you know what, I had an idyllic childhood. I didn't understand why I have such an inner judge. And she said the trauma, Tina, was not necessarily that you had horrible traumas. I didn't have to fight for food, water, or shelter. I did not have horrible parents that beat me, or I wasn't, given up for adoption, or what people might call big T traumas. I did not watch or experience physical abuse in my household. But I had an unpredictable, very loud father that was very critical, and he had his own traumas. And what she said was the big trauma for me was that from a very young age, before the age of 5, when I had these episodes that were traumatic for my little body, I never talked to anybody about them. The trauma, my trauma, like so many young people, is the belief, like I said, when you cut the cord, that you are alone in this world and you are not safe to tell those who love you about the hurts, that you get in trouble and you can't even share your disappointments. You can't share your emotions, or when you share your emotions, you are criticized for having an emotion. How many young children were told to be seen and not heard? How many were told to stop crying, to stop making a scene, to stop, just get over your disappointment? And in those very simple words, we are told, stop moving emotions, energy, emotions, stop feeling in your body, live in your head, live in your judge, get small, and make sure people will continue to love you. And that, my friends, is how your inner judge takes over and judges yourself or judges others or judges life itself. And we will take our second break right now. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. We are on the Inspired Choices Network, and I am Dr. Tina Coopersmith, your witchy doctor, your change advocate. And when we come back from break, we are going to talk a little bit more about your accomplices with your inner judge, which are your defense mechanisms, basically your internal family systems, as well as your inner best friend. Let's go to break.
Your Healing Playground is the space where science, spirit, and sensation dance together. Your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, physician, coach, healer, and play advocate, returns weekly to remind you that healing isn't just about pills and protocols. Western medicine is just one of many healing modalities. True wellness is about energy, emotion, pleasure, and play. On this show, Dr. Tina explores the playground of your body, mind, heart, and soul. From neuroscience to sensuality, from root chakra to real talk. She'll share tools, stories, and soulful strategies to shift you out of fear and back into joy. Because if you're alive and breathing, your story is still unwritten, and you deserve to write it with love. Together, you'll learn to breathe, feel, and play your way back to wellness, because you are your best healer.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to info@womensreproduction.com. Now, back to our program.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, my friends. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am Dr. Tina Coopersmith, your host, your witchy doctor and change advocate. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. And if you're enjoying this show, I would so appreciate if you could give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Search for Your Healing Playground. I will be so grateful. This will assist in getting this information out to those that need it. If you can share us with 10 friends, then we can expand exponentially as well. And now let's get back to our show and talk about your inner judge and your inner best friend. And I tried to explain how our inner judge forms in childhood, and it is the part of our brain, our survival brain, trying to keep us safe. And if it's associated with a negative emotion, you know it's your inner judge speaking, because your inner judge does not trust the universe. Your inner judge feels like it needs to be in control, and the only person that it can rely upon is itself. Now, the inner judge does have friends. And let me tell you, your friends are your perfectionistic self, your hyperachiever, your hyper rational logic brain, your stickler, which is also a controller, making sure that order is kept in, life is orderly. You're a victim. Some people play the victim mode. Some people avoid life and avoid things. Some are hyper vigilant. Those are, a little bit living on the edge of anxiety there. Some are people pleasers and do everything to please others. And some are restless. Nothing is good enough and change is always needed. Now, if any of these characters sound a little bit like yourself, you are in good company. Everybody has these judges and these accomplices to different degrees. Now, when you notice that you're feeling a little on edge, a little judgy, if you will, in your body, perhaps you're saying yes to someone else and not yes to yourself as a people pleaser. Perhaps you don't want to go with the flow. You want logic and proof. Perhaps you are an achiever, but you're taking it to the nth degree. Any of these things, you know that might be your judge taking over. Now, the way to get out of the inner judge is to get out of your brain and back in your body. Now, you can do this by giving yourself a hug. You could do this by noticing your 5 senses. What are 5 things that you see? What are 4 sounds that you hear? 3 smells, 2 tastes, and one touch, or I went back and forth. Doesn't really matter. But can you get out of your brain, out of the chatter, and just be present to this moment, this instant, this now? When we leave our brain and go back in our body and we say, am I safe right now? We leave that sympathetic fight, flight, freeze, or please, and we breathe deeply and we know, wait, if I'm breathing, I'm alive and I am okay. And guess what? If I'm okay and I'm alive, I can always change my story. Life is therefore just story right now. And even the worst story, even the scariest story, means I'm alive having a story. If I'm alive having a story, now I might have fallen down the rabbit hole. I might be at the bottom of the barrel, and this story right now is depleting me. I am in despair. I am totally depressed or totally anxious, or I have hit rock bottom. And in that instant that I go out of my brain, back in my body, back into my breath, I can remember to trust that if I am breathing, I am alive, I am okay, and everything else is story. And maybe, just maybe, I can edit this story. And even the worst circumstance that occurs to me, perhaps if I've hit rock bottom, the only place to go is to turn around and go back up. And perhaps in the future, I will look at that horrible place that I was in as the bouncing off point to become bigger, better, stronger. Perhaps when I was living in the cocoon, feeling terrified and alone, and all the walls were caving in on me, I was the caterpillar stuck in a cocoon, not convinced that I was ever going to see the light of day again. And all I could do was to breathe and flap my wings and breathe and flap my wings. And who knew that I was going to be free and become a butterfly. Because that caterpillar is that butterfly. Now, friends, my inner judge was so sneaky, so very sneaky, because my inner judge acted as my best friend. My inner judge did not berate me like I heard my mentor's inner judge. She didn't tell me I was awful. She just constantly told me I had to be bigger, better, smarter, and keep achieving more, keep loving more, keep going. And I was never good enough for my inner judge. I always had to be bigger and better and change. You see, when I was young, failure was not an option in my household. If I got a 99, I was told, where's the extra point? My best buddies at one point, because when you're 12 years old, we're a little bit of the mean girls, and they gave me a list of how I could be a better human and a better friend. And I went home and I listed all the ways I could be a better human and a better friend. And I read that every night before I went to sleep. Now, those besties, let me tell you, they are still my besties. And they have loved me on this planet for years and years and years. And I love them. And just yesterday, I was reading a story about my brother who had his come to Jesus moment as an adult when a boss said, I cannot promote you. You are brilliant and you have no interpersonal skills. You are mean to other people and you are critical to other people. And if you want to survive in the business world, being bright is not enough. And my brother had to come to change and meet his inner judge and his inner critic and learn how not to judge others, but rather to be an open, loving individual. Because his inner judge from our same perfectionist father judged others, where I was judging myself harshly from the time I was little. I guess he was judging others to keep himself safe or life. And my brother turned his life around and became a much more brilliant man, being able to be bigger and better and more loving to all his employees and his higher ups and his people below him. And he turned his life around. And I realized, thank my best friends for helping me adjust my inner judge so that I was always loving to other people and I was mean to myself. And thank my best friends who introduced me to meditation when I was in my 40s, who helped me rediscover my inner soul and meet my inner best friend. My inner best friend who no longer judges myself harshly. I am good enough today, even as I might want to do something different tomorrow. And I don't judge life circumstances because life is always happening for me and not to me. Everything that happens in my life can be transformed into a way that my seedling, my sapling, my body can grow and learn and change. And I am good enough today, and I can continue to grow and have newer connections, stronger roots, and bigger branches tomorrow. And if I can do that, so can you. And I have an inner cheerleader that was with me my whole life, living alongside my inner judge. But nowadays, I can surf the surfboard and get out of my head, back in my body, and meet my inner cheerleader to hold me up quicker, faster, and she is stronger. Because I now see my inner judge for who she is, my survival child that is desperately trying to be loved. And the best way that I can be loved is to be loving to myself, and in loving myself, to love others and love this life. And my friends, my inner best friend is loving me, loving you, and loving life with every breath I am on this planet. And my friends, I invite you to dance with your inner judge, and we will take a break and we will come back to talk about our inner best friend who is loving and lovable and can love herself. So let's take a break. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. We are on the Inspired Choices Network. I am your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, and I am here for you to love yourself and love your inner best friend and be your inner best friend and love your inner judge, but shut her up, put her in the back seat, gag her, do not let her drive the bus. She is too young to have a driver's license.
Your Healing Playground is the space where science, spirit, and sensation dance together. Your host, Dr. Tina Coopersmith, physician, coach, healer, and play advocate, returns weekly to remind you that healing isn't just about pills and protocols. Western medicine is just one of many healing modalities. True wellness is about energy, emotion, pleasure, and play. On this show, Dr. Tina explores the playground of your body, mind, heart, and soul. From neuroscience to sensuality, from root chakra to real talk. She'll share tools, stories, and soulful strategies to shift you out of fear and back into joy. Because if you're alive and breathing, your story is still unwritten, and you deserve to write it with love. Together, you'll learn to breathe, feel, and play your way back to wellness, because you are your best healer. This is Your Healing Playground with Dr. Tina Coopersmith. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to info@womensreproduction.com. Now, back to our program.
Welcome back, my friends. You are listening to Your Healing Playground. I am Dr. Tina Coopersmith, your witchy doctor, change advocate, and host. We are on the Inspired Choices Network because we are inspired to live our biggest, best lives. Yes, we can grow, learn, and change. Next week, we will be talking with Mai Tai Garcia. Life is one big surprise, including healing. Surprises and healing come in all packages. And today we're talking about your inner judge and your inner best friend. And let me tell you, your inner judge is part of your brain. Your inner best friend knows better. Your inner best friend knows that if you are breathing, you are alive, and life is happening for you always. This morning I woke up, last night I went to sleep with a touch of a virus in my nose. No, it is not COVID. I woke up and realized this body knows how to heal itself. I live in an amazing body. And if I rest and I celebrate my healing, I can heal. And my body can heal. And my mind can heal. I am in charge of my thoughts. And I can let go of limiting beliefs. I can let go and notice my inner judge and switch out of fight, flight, freeze, or please, am I safe mode back to rest and digest, relax, reproduce. I can live in flow. The universe is happening for me. My exterior reality is a mirror of my inner reality. If I am vibrating in flow, in dance mode, in relaxation mode, in just cosmic oneness with trust, then I can trust that even in a down, dark moment, I can grow and change and have an amazing experience in life. That even in the darkness, light will show up at the other side. When there's rain, we might get to see a rainbow at the other side. When there's an eclipse and there's total darkness, the sun is going to show itself later. And so I can get out of this survival mechanism and live in flow, always knowing that those yucky days, those yucky moments, those feeling of aloneness, those feeling of life can't get any worse might be stepping stones to my biggest, best self that I can only dream of. And so, my friends, what are you dreaming of? Can you trust this universe to give you your desires and your dreams? And you are allowed to have whatever desire, whatever dream you choose. So dream big, my friends. Dream of a world without war. Dream of a world of peace. Dream of a world where we're all living in flow, that we're all dancing to harmonious music and not a cacophony of voices that are all competing because they're judging you as being different than they are. Because difference and is what is beautiful about this universe. Diversity is what makes the organic farm pulse with amazing energy. Your inner farm, your inner microbiome, the more different species of bacteria that live on your body, the healthier you are. The more variety of opinion that you have, the more you entertain yes and you have a different opinion than me. Can you tell me more? What can I learn from you? I don't know it all. I can learn from you. I can learn from my bad experiences. I can grow and change and celebrate all of my life. And my friends, at the end of this month, at the end of September, if you want to come into my retreat, if you live in LA, from anxiety to aliveness, learning to trust yourself and the universe yet again, I celebrate all of you. Trust this body you were given. You have a magical superpower within, and you need to go within. You need to meditate. You need to breathe. You need to celebrate this incredible being that you are, so that you can find your light. And it may be hidden in your darkness. And someone may have to help you dig away all the poo-poo that is hiding your light. Because hidden in the darkness is the light. Hidden underneath the judge and the survival mode and the belief that you are not enough is enoughness. You are lovable. You can love yourself. You are here to be loved and to exude love, because love is all there is, my friends. Love is hidden in the word evolution. When we evolve, it is due to love. Love is how we come into being. So, my friends, celebrate love. Love yourself.
If you
love
felt something
your
move
inner
today,
best
a
friend.
molecule, a mindset, or your mood, that's healing. Your body listens to your stories, your thoughts, your breath. So speak to yourself with kindness, play with curiosity, and let your nervous system know it's safe to rest. Dr. Tina returns Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, 8 Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Remember, pleasure is a practice and play is your medicine.